Hi you guys, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I'm sitting so I didn't get to wave. Okay, it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday and I've got to get this done. We are going to be working on this side here today. I'm going to move the book out of the way for right now. And we're going to, oh my goodness, I've got a mess. We're going to make things together. Generally, I have my tags and whatever. I have them all ready to go and I just poke them in. But I thought today we'd have more of a crafty session. So we are going to be making a pocket. We're going to be making, so the pocket comes in here and here, but it's also going to be a belly band, but it's still a pocket. It's a double pocketed belly band, right? So this is one of those silverware holders that you get at those, you know, chain breakfast all day restaurants. And oh gosh, a long time ago, I went to one of them and so the server heard me talking to my husband and the lady that had gone with us. I was telling them, oh, don't mess up your silverware holder. I want that, because I was going to use it in journals. And he heard me and he brought me a stack of them, you guys. And that's been so long ago. And this is the first time that I'm actually using them. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, let me pull my book in just again for just a second. So I have folded it so that it fits on the page. And, you know, there's a little bit of space at the top of the bottom. That doesn't necessarily matter. I folded it so that there was plenty of room for this to be a pocket. So that is how I got my fold. And then I want to sew around it. So if you do one of these, what you want to do is make sure that whatever you've printed off or whatever to put inside is going to fit after you've sewn it. If you decide to sew it, you don't have to sew it. I just thought I would. One of the things that kind of bugs me sometimes about these bags is the fold. And so I'm going to sew it down and it's not going to be a fold anymore. So I'm going to sew here like this. And then I'm going to sew around the whole thing. And we're going to do a straight stitch on the pocket. And the reason I'm sewing here is just because for looks. It's not for any other reason. I did coffee stain this one. I did it this morning after my coffee was, whoopsie, I just went too far. When my coffee was done, I just took my grounds and just went plop, 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 plop around on it. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these so that they're not in the way. I don't know if they would be or not, but. And you could glue this down if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna try it with not gluing. And I'm going to try and get pretty close to the edge of the bag so that I don't lose the space inside the bag. Oh shoot! Do you see what I did? I wasn't thinking, oh no, I can sew all the way around. Yeah, I was thinking, wait a minute, Stephanie, you're going to sew the pocket closed. So this top one, this front one, that will not be sewn. Let me see, let me get just a little bit farther over to the edge. And like I said, you don't have to do this part of it if you don't want to. I just thought it would add a little something to it. Okay, so there it is sewn around. Okay, so now it's like that, and this back one, you know, you can't get anything back in that one, which is fine with me, because sometimes it just gets in the way, in my opinion. I don't mind it there, but it's also okay not to have it there. Let's go ahead and glue it in. So I'm just gonna go right in the center. Take a second. You know that the coffee, I think it's the coffee that causes things not to dry real quick sometimes. I mean, for the most part. But I have noticed, it's my opinion, that I don't know if it's the oils or something in the coffee, but it just takes a little bit longer sometimes. So I'm just gonna put these on and then set it aside. Just gonna get right there up on the edge. Oh, barely reaches. Okay, so there's that. And now I want to make, we'll go ahead and make the large card that I want to put on the inside. Oops. And this journal, this particular pocket journal, I am really heavily inking it. So, I mean, heavily for me. It may not be heavy for some people. And I thought it'd be cute to add one of the Shabby Dabby Doodah labels on it. So we'll do that real quick. And I just thought it's pretty blank right up in here. And so we're just gonna, I thought about putting it off to the side and cutting it, but you know, that's fine, doesn't have to be. Let's go ahead and ink. First I'm just gonna ink the edge, because this is like that white core cardstock. So there's color on the front, color on the back, but when you cut it, you can see the white. So take care of that first. And it doesn't really take the ink, the distress ink real well, but this is gonna be one of those messy, you know, from the sponge on my inker. I was thinking that I wanted to zigzag around this one. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the center, but it really doesn't need, especially if I'm gonna be sewing the thing down, it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit off to the side for just a minute. I really like these colors. Okay, so there's that one. The front pocket, I thought we would do the, you know, short little pocket. We would do this feather. I thought that was really cute. So the images that I'm using this time came from Graphics Fairy, and since the paper in the journal, it's coffee dyed on one side and then the next page over has kind of a blue and gold look to it, I decided that I wanted to have blue images because, you know, kind of makes sense. So I just typed the word blue into the Graphics Fairy search section, and I got birds, and you know, that worked for me. So we're doing birds. And then this, this is just going to be the background, and I'm gluing it onto this just for stability, just because this is, you know, thin music paper. But we will go ahead and ink, just because cuts aren't always perfect, you know? So if any of the edges do show, they will be inked and it'll blend in. And then this is going to be the back, so I'm just going to kind of smear it all in there. Good enough. Close enough for me. I know I've said this before, but you know, not everybody has always watched. So, but my roommate in college, she always had these funny sayings, and I mean, they were funny to me because I just hadn't heard them. She was quite the character, and her mom was as well, and so she would say some of the things that her mom would say, of course. And one of them was close enough for government work. Of course, I was totally naive to anything at that point in my life. I'm like, I don't know. Don't people in the government work hard? We all have a, you know, unanimous, yeah, right. No, I'm sure some people, I'm sure they work hard. I'm just not sure they work hard for us. Wait, did I say that out loud? Honestly, you guys, don't make bad comments, because I really don't have an opinion. Honestly, I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to any of it. I just try to live my quiet little life. So honestly, I'm sure government workers work hard. I'm sure everything's good. In fact, I have family members who work for the government, so I'm not saying anything bad. And they have great retirement plans. I know that. So good health insurance. So if you have a government job, you're lucky. Did I cover my tracks? Anyway, the saying's got to come from somewhere, right? But she I'm sorry, tongue-tied. She would say, close enough for government work. And I'm like, well, what does that even mean? She taught me a lot, needless to say. With I grew up in, you know, such a small town here in Washington State, and she grew up south of Seattle, so she experienced a lot more than what I did. I experienced farm town. So needless to say, my freshman year, learning things like that, you know, not like that, but from her about different things, they were both shocking and entertaining. Yeah, she was pretty funny. Pretty funny. I actually haven't spoken to her for a while. We kept in contact for a long time, but I don't know. I haven't spoken to her in a long time now. Okay, so I think that this feather is really cute. I quite like it. While this is drying, I'm gonna sew around this one. And we're gonna zigzag this one. Oops. I always make my zigzag a little bit bigger than what the default is on my sewing machine. Sorry if this is something that, you know, is no fun, but you know, people start out new all the time. And I remember when I first started doing journals, and I hadn't sewn on anything, and I remember watching people sew going, oh my gosh, you know, just having had no idea that that was even a possibility. So I think it's good to show things. And I really, really didn't want to have to edit my video because I'm getting it done so late that I just want to be able to upload it and not have to wait for the editor thingy to do its processing. Okay. So that sewn around, it just is amazing how much it adds. Don't you think it's cool? A lot of times, so you know the white core, you can see it. I will go back over it a lot of times with my inker and it'll cover that up. I'll show you, but I won't do the whole thing, but I'll show you what I mean. So if that's something that you don't like, you can just, you know, and it covers it. So, but I'm not gonna do that with you guys. I can do it after the video. So let's see what it looks like. And we'll just kind of build it as we go. How about that? I'll take these off. And poke this in. So there's that part. Of course, you can't see the picture anymore, but that's okay because we'll be seeing other things. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and do this one. And this one is, okay, so there was an image that I found. I couldn't find anything long and skinny to go inside of the long and skinny pocket, so I decided to make something long and skinny. I cut what I wanted. I'm going to round the corners. And then I found an image and I took the image apart, and we're just gonna place the image in different places along the tag or whatever we're making here, journaling card. And then I'm just gonna lay that there. I'll punch these. Oops, I missed. Okay, and then ink. I want most of what's showing. My music paper is gonna leave border, and I want most of what's showing to be pretty well inked up, so I'm going pretty dark on it. And then we'll go ahead and do the back just 'cause. This is what destroys my little inker. It just gets so torn up. I don't know, maybe I should be more gentle with it. Okay, so there we have that to move all the little bits out of the way. And we are going to go ahead and, so you see how there's, I mean, it blends, but I think it's a little darker. I might, when we're all done, I might add just a little bit more to the edge. We'll see. So there's that part. And then So let's see, I need to do this one edge, and then we're going to ink it. And then we're going to ink where I tore it. So that it stands out just a little bit from the music paper. And then I didn't know for sure if I wanted to place it within where you can still see. I think I do. Okay, I wasn't sure. So I'm gonna just take and cut this down a little bit and see. I want it to look straight on the edges, you know, where this is straight and this is straight, but the rest, the torn parts can be torn, and that's fine. Okay, I think I like it like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, you know, my thinking behind it, but there was an actual rhyme to the reason, I guess. I made a roast, well, a pork loin roast I made the other day. And it was one of those that you can buy that's pre-seasoned. And you guys, it was so salty. I mean, so inedibly salty. So I have to, you know, try and remind myself never to buy pre-seasoned pork loin roast again. But okay, so then this one I'm just going to kind of poke there in the middle, and then this one needs the... Anyway, so what I decided to do was put it in the crock pot with some potatoes and carrots and water. No broth of any sort. And I just tasted the potato before doing the video, and it's salty. So there was so much meat or salt in that meat that it salted the potatoes without adding anything, which is what I figured it would do, but that's just crazy. Okay, and then this will come in just a little bit. All right, cute. I like it. All right, let's go ahead and put that down. So if you have something, you need to make something that's fairly large to fit a page, but you have this one image and it's not big enough, well, take the image apart and then it will be. It probably should have been a little higher, but that's okay. I should probably put the lid on this. It's going to get dry. Okay. So I'm going to set this off to the side to dry while we sew this one. And since this is pretty blank, I'm thinking that I will zigzag it. So you can go faster, you know, my machine will go faster, but what I notice when I'm zigzagging, if I sew faster, it skips a zig or skips a zag. So I just don't, I went too far. If you go too far, you can just kind of over correct and then straighten up again. Sometimes it's really hard to tell where too far is, so. So yeah, I know it's kind of like, oh, hurry up, Stephanie, hurry up. And the YouTube editor doesn't do fast forward. I mean, the last time I checked, it wasn't doing fast forward yet. I did notice that the last time I edited, they had changed the way you cut a section out. And so maybe they've added something like fast forward, because that would be nice to be able to fast forward through sewing. Okay, so there's that. Isn't that pretty? I love that feather. So yeah, it was just some, in images of, I think, blue jays, there was this feather. Okay, so that will go here. Cute. Okay, so it's a little floppy, but you know, the page will be closed. All right, and then let's go ahead and sew this one. It's not fully dry, but it'll be fine. Where's my thing? Ah, I went too far. I have it floored, guys. I do think I'll be able to accomplish my journal in a week that I'm trying to do. I'm really trying, and I think I'll do it. I think it's because it's the, well, a couple reasons. You know, there's one signature, but also there is so much included in the kit that I'm not having to search for images or things to fussy cut, because so much came with it. So it's really easy to decorate. I think it's fabulous. So the kit, I mean. Okay. So then this one looks like that. Isn't it pretty? I like the colors a lot. Okay, so get these cut off. I'm done sewing, so that's good. I'm gonna kind of scooch my sewing machine out of the way to give more room. Okay, so then this would go down in the top. And you know, you can add, I didn't know what I would think about adding tabs or anything like that. So I brought a piece of paper over. And we can just see what we think. Just ink it real quick. If we added a tab like there, it just gives it a little something, you know, because there's a lot of not anything. Of course, I could do a tab there. I think it needs a tab there, huh? Maybe I'll just do the tab there. And then we'll decorate the bottom here. Beautiful. I think that's good. Okay, and so then I cut out a bird that was also, you know, within that search. There was a little white there that I didn't want to fuss with, so And then another Shabby Dabby Doodah label. So I bought these labels, I don't even know, a long time ago, and I haven't even begun to use them all up. And I just printed one time. It took me forever to cut them all out. Okay, so let me go ahead and try and remember. Here. This side is going to be covered, so I'm just going to do this. And I'll remember where I wanted it. So thanks for sticking around if you did through all the sewing. I know that was a lot of sewing today. A lot of me filling sewing time with just chatter about nothing. Oh, I think it's so pretty. I absolutely love the color of the blues. Love it. So there we go. So cute. All right, you guys, I hope you like it. And so I know it's a belly band, but it's a 2-pocket belly band. So to me, it fits for Pocket Wednesday. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. And oh, you guys, it's an open collab. If anybody wants to join me, I would love it. Just use the hashtag Pocket Wednesday and let me know, and I will add you to my video. Thanks. Bye.